Part 2, Chapter 9. This is a little short because we're going to be doing Goldstein's book in a different section. So for the actual narrative part of Chapter 9, it starts off and Winston is very tired. He put in 90 hours of work in only 5 days. It's hate week. But anyway, so during hate week, everybody was talking about their enemies being Eurasia. They had all these posters of Eurasian enemies, all these flags, all this anti-Eurasian stuff. But during one of the rallies, right in the middle of a speech, this guy walks up, hands a note to the speaker, and just like that, the enemy changes to Eastasia. So, in the middle of the sentence, the man giving the speech immediately changes his words from Eurasia to Eastasia, and then after a little bit of talking, realizes that the posters all say Eurasia, so he says that it was spies who planted all these wrong posters. So everybody in the audience goes crazy. They tear down the signs and the decorations. And now, because the enemies in the war switch, Winston was called back to work with everyone else who works in the Ministry of Truth. And they had to work overtime to change the records so that Oceania had always been at war with Eastasia and not Eurasia. So anyway, the week's over. He finally makes it to Mr. Charrington's and he has Goldstein's book. During that same rally, someone came up behind him and passed him the briefcase. He sits down and he's waiting for Julia, so he begins reading chapter 1. Then he skips ahead to chapter 3 and he starts enjoying his privacy. He stops reading as he hears Julia come up the stairs. He tells her he has the book and she makes him coffee, and after they make love, he pulls the book out and begins reading aloud to her as she lays down next to him. He begins reading again from chapter 1 as Julia lays next to him. Winston realizes Julie is asleep and he closes the book. He feels he hasn't learned any big secrets, that he learned how but still didn't understand why the party did what they did. He feels like the book told him stuff he already knew, but that actually put it in a way that made sense. He does feel like at least he's not crazy, that all his suspicions about the party were right. He realizes that even if you're a minority of one, you can't be mad because with the truth, even against the world, you're not mad. He falls asleep whispering, "Sanity is not statistical."